Icarus, one of the most well-known Greek myths, and for a reason too. I'm not just saying that because it's my favourite. The myth of Icarus is simple yet just complex enough to spark debate about various interpretations. It's really integrated itself into our collective conscious. You've probably heard the phrase flying too close to the sun. It's referenced all the time in music, from the Bastille to the Crane Wives, even Hamilton. Anyway, enough of my rambling. The story of Icarus and Daedalus is actually a smaller part of a different myth, Theseus and the Minotaur. Minotaur? Minotaur? Grovis!
Minotaur.
Thanks, Grovis. To add a bit of necessary context, King Minos, the king of Crete, has a little problem in the form of a half-man, half-bull man-eating creature, courtesy of his wife, Pasiphae, which, to keep things short, was cursed to fall in love with this bull, which she did, and, oh, wow, I wonder where that thing came from. So to fix this problem, he commissioned the great inventor Daedalus to build an inescapable labyrinth to trap the Minotaur in. Now, Daedalus himself is an interesting character. The only reason he's on Crete to begin with is because he got himself banished from Athens. He pushed his apprentice and nephew off a building for being a better inventor than him or something. Anyway, Daedalus builds the labyrinth for King Minos. But cool labyrinth isn't as cool if someone knows how to escape it. So he traps Daedalus and his son Icarus in a tower. However, some versions have King Minos trapping them in the labyrinth in anger, either from finding out that Daedalus helped Theseus defeat the Minotaur by providing a clue, or that he, enabled the conception of the Minotaur. Regardless of the version, they are stuck in a tower and it has something to do with the Minotaur. Of course, Daedalus does not like being stuck in a tower, and in fact, he's starting to not like Crete either. Unfortunately for him, King Minos blocks their escape from both land and sea, so that makes leaving a little difficult. But Daedalus, of course, is an inventor, not a quitter, so he enters his mind palace to think. Ah! I have it! He then got to work. Using feathers, wax and thread, he meticulously bent them into the shape of bird wings. One for him, and of course, one for Icarus, who during this process was busy chasing the feathers around and being a general nuisance. Before the pair takes off, Daedalus warns his son they shouldn't fly too low, as the sea spray will weigh down his wings, making them too heavy to fly. But he also shouldn't fly too high either, as the sun will melt the wax that hold his wings together, making them fall apart. Daedalus tells him to instead stay close to him and fly in the middle, and after helping Icarus put on his wings, they're ready to fly. Wait! One last good luck smooch. The people below looked in amazement as the pair flew across the sky, the fisherman casting his line, the shepherd taking a quick rest, and even the ploughman. But Icarus, being young and hence not at all wise, began to soar higher and higher, and just as Daedalus said, the heat from the sun melted the wax, and before he knew it, no more wings. Tumbling out of the sky, he cried for his dad, only for his last words to get smothered under the waves. Daedalus tried his best to find his son, but after seeing the floating pair of wings, he gave up his search. He later found Icarus's body on a nearby island shore, now known as Icaria. Now, depending on the version, because as always, there's never just one telling of a myth this old, it was either Daedalus that named the island and also sea after him, Helios, Titan of the Sun, or, funnily enough, Heracles. And that's not even the biggest difference between versions. In the descriptions of Greece, instead of inventing cool wings, Daedalus instead invents a sailboat. This one's less known for a reason. It's just not as cool. These boats are special, as at the time boats were still oared, relying on manpower and water currents to propel them forward, unlike Daedalus' new invention, that uses wind. These new boats are also one-person-only ones, for some reason, so Daedalus, like in our better version, makes two. So when the time was right, and the wind on their side, they set off, speeding past Minos' fleet and sailing away to freedom. Well, at least Daedalus does. Icarus overturned his boat and drowned. However, in Diodorus' version, Daedalus doesn't invent anything. It was Pasiphae that provided the boat. And this time, Icarus didn't die during the journey. He died at the end, when disembarking. Yep, he just fell in and died.